This is going to be a guide on how to get mysterious slates and dark fire. So first, I would highly recommend you invest into some drop rate armor. So ideally, your armor has the plus 5% drop rate for all your main armor pieces. And then the cape can get double plus 10%. The charm or ring, whatever you have in this slot, can also get double plus 10%, although I didn't get the second plus 10% on here. And then with your glasses, you can either get item drop rate or you can get XP, but I mean, if you want to maximize your item drop rate, you're going to want to go item drop rate on your glasses. And then also, on top of all that, you're going to want to maximize your item drop rate on your companions, which, once again, you can do a better job than me because you can get the 5% armor pieces and put them on all of their armor slots, but because I don't have that stuff made yet, I'm not going to do that. Also, if you use paladins, they have this shield slot, and this shield can get, I think, plus 10% in each slot as well, so if you want to take your drop rate up a little further, or you are a paladin player, then you get better drop rates than the rest of us. So, first, once you go through all that, I'll demonstrate how to get Redux Stones quickly at the end, if you're not aware of that, but we're going to go and use the guide for the most part. So, from what my experience, it seems like it's better to find a monster house, and I think this monster house will have to be like your 600-700, or at least whatever point they become shadow enemies exclusively. And I would assume the higher level means a higher drop rate. If you are really lazy and don't want to do that, you can go into the castle here, but this castle's drop rate is really bad, and I'll show that off here after we do a little bit of, or a run of this. So, you just go into the monster room. The big thing about going into the monster room is you do not want to kill all the enemies in the room, because if you kill all the enemies in this room, then you'll have to go find another one of these monster houses. And ideally, you find one, and then you just farm it, because the drop rates are kind of crazy. And as you can see, I think I've gotten, like, so this is only 23 enemies in this one. I think I've gotten, like, 28 slates on, like, a lucky one. But, like, we already got one, and this is so far, I don't think the best one I've had, because I've already killed a couple of these and they don't have any. But the drop rate on the slates is pretty good. Also, open up each of these near the end of the video, kind of get an idea of what you can get out of them. So far, there's some pretty cool gear you can get out of them, though it seems like, in a lot of cases, the true, like, Staff of Time, or, well, I guess maybe not the Staff, but, like, the true, like, of Time gear items are just generally better than most of the items you can get out of the series. But basically, you just kind of farm through here, and then you're just gonna get a bunch of slates. And the higher your drop rate is, the more consistent you'll be getting more slates, and you can get your drop rate higher than mine if you put all the drop rate buffs on all your companions. It's already kind of dropping pretty well for me, so I figured I didn't need to go any further. But you can take it further, and it's probably worth taking it further for other activities, other characters, or just other activities, I guess, where you're trying to get rare resources, because extra drop rate's always nice. You will need to max your shop out if you want to max your drop rate out quick, because you'll need to get the trip appliques, which I'll show off shortly here as well, or when we go over Redux Stones stuff. But yeah, as you can see, we're doing that. We get a bunch. I'm not going to finish this room just because it's going to take a bit longer, but I'd recommend basically you kill all but one enemy, and then just go give up, and then leave the treasure grove, and then you can go back into this room and continue farming them. But yeah, it'll play this retired animation, but it doesn't really matter. And then, as you can see, we can just immediately go back into that room. Though if you do happen to kill all of your enemies in that floor, then you would have to go find another one. So, once we're done with that, I'll go you can go into this castle. The drop rate is a lot worse. I was only getting like 1 or 2 drops for the entire floor. Though I guess if you get your drop rate to max and the drop rate is the same, it might be a little better, but I generally don't think it's worth it. Okay, so in order to get drop rate up quickly to make it so you are getting things similar to the rate I'm getting them, you can either get this to max rank and then buy the, I think there's a sticker you can buy. Okay, well if you can't buy that, you can at least buy it through here, because there's the... yeah, the trip applique here. So you basically just buy a bunch of these, or craft a bunch of these. Whatever works. I'm not going to buy them at the moment, because I don't need to... well, I kind of need to do more, but it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure you can craft it, though. I don't know, I'm not going to go through all that. Must have done something with sorting. But yeah, you can go get that, and then quickly go over how to get a bunch of Redux Stones. So in order to get a bunch of Redux Stones, you're going to want to go to the capital in Mysteria. And in order to optimize this, most of the weapons you get from later in the game, I'd recommend you sell. And then at least at the moment, until either this gets patched, or if it just permanently behaves this way, you basically just go over here, you go to this shop, and then you just buy these long capes. And then each of these long capes gives you half of a Redux Stone, so if you buy 8 of them like I've bought here, this will give you 4 Redux Stones. If you want a large amount of Redux Stones, I would suggest you buy a lot more than what I'm doing here, but this is more just a demonstration of how this works, so I'm not going to go buy a crazy amount and turn them all in here. And then once you get in here, you're going to want to filter by cape, and then the long capes are each worth 50. And then we get 4 from turning in 8 of them. And that's how that works. And for the last part of this video, we'll go open a bunch of mysterious slates, because I think I'm sitting on like 100, because I was at 95 before I started recording, and we grabbed a couple at the very end there, so should be 100 slate openings. And then I can also go over some of the items, the Slate Scrap. So you just talk to Edward, you do a praise slate, and then
what do we
give 10 slates at a time, or if you don't have 10, you can give them however many you have. So like we got a Summer Flask, a Violet Rod, Arcanite Sword, Steel Beast Wings, so we get some interesting wings we can get. Another Summer Flask, Settling Stone Floor, and some of these, like the tools will have different tiers on them. So if you want the best tier for like an item, you're going to be looking at the legendary tier, as those are the best tier. We get Supreme Tenebryon, which is good, but we get even luckier if we get a legendary version. There'll be a bunch of like cosmetic items or just stuff you can get out of here, and then it seems like the more patterns or recipes you get at some point, you start getting a bunch of these things instead, which is probably either rolling duplicates or just kind of filler items. We get Dragon's Despair, Treacherous Sofa, Black Dragon Sword.
Alright,
we're starting to get less patterns, because I was doing some of these the other night, because I did a live stream. Oh wow, we basically got no patterns out of it, and just opened some of them, just to see what I could get out of it, and I figured it was kind of bad. We do it. See, we got a legendary version of the Tenebryon. I think we've gotten all of those, so that'll probably quit dropping. Black Dragon Sword notable, Aqualib Sword notable. Get some interesting stuff.
What do we hex?
And if you get really lucky, you can get the Black Dragon motorcycle from this. Dark Beast Shores, Dragon Breaker, a lot of random stuff.
What do we
want to do one of those. Well, that was kind of a bad appraisal there. Let's just do 4 here, and then we'll try to keep it doing 10 every single time. So Alibaba Saw, Supreme, Devilish House, so like you can get some extra buildings as well.
Alright then. do we hex?
But overall, these are definitely worth farming. You got the avalanche axe.
All right
We're
then.
getting a bunch of like random
What
consumables.
do we hex?
I think I got that. It's probably the last year of avalanche axe. I got steel beast boosts.
All right
And
then.
we're increasingly getting more consumables, but I know
What
there's
do
a
we
lot
have
more stuff I
extra?
think still in here. Venus frying pan, nightmare bed, apocalypse shield. That's a cool looking shield.
All right then.
And this is the last
do
one
we
I have at
hex?
the moment. Dragon breaker. That's the max level one. Apocalypse wings. So that's some cool wings you can equip. And then we got mostly
All
consumables.
right then.
And I'm out of
Alright
slates.
then.
So if you get lucky, you can get the motorcycle for the black version of the dragon motorcycle, which is the recipe for this, which it should be this one. I already have the red version, but there's a black version. And then now we can go show off some of the recipes, but as you can see, we were getting different tiers, and sometimes it was like duplicate recipes. I got this the other night. I'm still missing the legendary version of this, so that'll be interesting to get whenever I get that. We were getting a couple of these. I think we also got a couple variants of this one. And like I got all of these for that sword. Got all the variants for this bow. Which sadly I don't think this bow is too crazy compared to some of the stats. Actually, it might be, but also likely the true bow of time is going to be better than that. Surprisingly, I don't think I've gotten any staffs yet from this, so it'll be interesting to keep pulling them and see if I get any interesting staff. This is the Dragon Breaker. It's like a pretty strong pickaxe, but still, this one just looks like it's probably better. But it is better than the best one you can get that isn't the true time one. I got this yesterday. I don't know if I got any of those today. We got this Venus frying pan, which likely there's still a better one. I also got these yesterday. And then this is the Avalanche Axe, which ends at 429. Although, even if these aren't your best things, you can equip them in the cosmetic menu and then use them as a skin instead of actually using them if you want to use the true versions of them. It's like the Alibaba saw. Summer flask here. And then we can move over to the shield we got, which we only got the common version. There's going to be a couple more variants of this one. Most likely as there'll likely be a legendary variant. I just didn't get lucky enough to roll that here. And then here's our stuff here. I mean, a lot of these will require a lot of stuff that I think is exclusive to the Treasure Grove, like the Dragon Tree and the Heart of Darkness, so some of these might require a lot of farming to fully craft. So one armor piece I got yesterday I want to show off. Two. I got this yesterday. This looks like an incredibly powerful armor. And I know there's more in here, but I don't think we want to go through all of it. You got the Dark Beast stuff, you have the Black Magic set. And I don't know, let's go move over to here. And then over here, I don't know if this is one, but yeah, there's like a bunch of new like buildable items to get. So either way, it's going to be very worth it to investigate into that. You can get like funny toilet here, or like this coffin. And then I would assume if you get the Snapdragon Cruiser Black, it'll probably be like right next to this one. Get some random rugs. The Cursed Fence. And then there's all these otherworldly, I call bloodthirsty stuff. Basically, all of your like darkness-themed items. And this is all I have. There's definitely a lot more to get, because, like, I clearly didn't get all the variants of the ones I've discovered, and also, on top of that, there's just a couple items I know drops from that, but I haven't been lucky enough to get it. I'll say, good luck farming those out on your own, and that is kind of what I've been doing for that, and I really would recommend going in the Treasure Grove over trying the Dark Castle, because the drop rate seems substantially better in the Dark Castle, or in the Treasure Grove than the Dark Castle, and also bump your item drop rates so you get them more frequently and you can farm them faster. Lastly, this is a quick little addendum to the end of the video here, because I realized I forgot to actually go into the castle. So yeah, if you go into the castle, as you can see, the drop rate will be kind of bad. Once we start killing a couple of these enemies, I mean, they are lower leveled, so they're like faster, but the drop rate seems a lot lower. As I was going through most of these rooms, killing all the enemies. Is there anything? Yes, there's stuff that way. But yeah, it's kind of not worth going in here unless you have no other options. Which, at that point, it might just be worth doing other stuff and then coming back to this later once you have more stuff unlocked. Or if you've taken your drop right up further, this is mostly just a way to do it without being reliant on the Treasure Grove, but the drop rate seems to be absolutely terrible. If this guide has helped you out at all, please like and subscribe. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time on the next video. Bye.